This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. And let me tell you, you know what? Back to the Oilers news, back to the stuff, and I'm a day late on this, sure, but there are some interesting points to be raised here on kind of what's going on behind the scenes across the NHL as we prepare for hopefully the 2020-2021 NHL season. Lots to be answered yet. You had reports yesterday and this morning about the AHL needing a seat at the table to figure out how their season plays into the NHL season, or if they have a season or whatnot. But without further ado, let's focus on the Oilers-centric stuff here, in which Tom Gazzola once again had a voluntary workout update, and it's Chris Russell, Patrick Russell, who you might have known was over on loan in Denmark, but we could never figure out what was going on there 100%, and I don't think I ever got a sure answer what was going on. Well, he's back in Edmonton, and Ryan Stanton has joined the group as well. Ryan Stanton is a farmhand with the team. He is a guy on the Bakersfield Condors, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that, because Ryan Stanton is, Ryan Stanton is a guy with a farm team. We don't have him signed to a contract. However, he is a guy that is in the AHL, and of course, because that is with the Oilers organization in a sense, so he joins as well. So a couple of guys joining up ranks here with the Oilers and getting things going. And of course, that already means Draisaitl, Nurse, Ennis, Chiasson, Skinner, and Gagne are all there. That's your core. I guess that's your core six now, as those are the guys. I think there's one guy joining late, and I'm thinking that was either Ennis, I believe, joining late. I'm not 100% sure. Can't remember who the original five are. Actually, I can tell you who the original five are, because I can go just like this, pull up a graphic, and go bing, bang, boom, and find out who the original five that Tom Gazzola said had joined the workouts were. And we'll go like this. We'll make it nice and sloppy, hot edits. So it's Tyler Ennis, Darnell Nurse, Leon Draisaitl, Alex Chiasson. Okay, so no, that's the core five for the Oilers. And then you have Gagne. Bingo. There we go. All right. All things make sense now. Tyson, round of applause for figuring that one out. That was good work. That was solid effort. Man, that's why you come to Dolynny TV, is that really actually, you see this whole new border situation around the video. That really makes you want to hit that subscribe button or follow my genius butt on Twitter. That said, that already takes care of itself. Let's get back to the news. So, Chris Russell, Patrick Russell, and of course Ryan Stanton, the only ones joining on the voluntary update. And this is, as you saw there, a couple of days old now. If you flash that goes back to Tom Gazzola 3 hours ago. That was like last week, I want to say. So, yeah, suddenly, actually, Sam Gagne, I want to say that goes back a long ways, because that video got like 3,500 views or something crazy on TV. Never mind. But yeah, either way you look at it, that is not a substantial amount of Oilers joining. And that's kind of what I wanted to lead this discussion into. You see on the side here, Oilers news, discussion, and updates. File this under the discussion and updates tab. This really isn't news. It was news yesterday. This is now discussion and update stuff here on Dolynny TV. And what you do need to know is that I'm kind of sketched out that this is all we're seeing out of players joining in, right? Obviously, you've had the news on McDavid that we discussed the other day about him training with Matthews and whatnot, but end of the day, this is not half the team. This is not 3/4 of the team. This is not everybody going nuts. But is it more so due to, say, the outbreaks we saw among the other teams of COVID-19? Or what the situation with the NHL and the players' salaries and negotiating the CBA money and figuring out how to play next year? What of this is actually driving the low attendance at voluntary workouts? Because, I mean, you look back to June. By the end of June, we pretty much had everybody there, I'd say. Everybody was rip-roaring, ready to go for training camp, and away we went. But now we're end of November. We are potentially a month away from hockey returning in some sense, whether it be preseason games or whatnot. And we've got Chris Russell, Patrick Russell, Leon Draisaitl, Darnell Nurse, Tyler Ennis, Alex Chiasson, the fourth string goalie, and that's it at voluntary workouts. Now, okay, there you said it. You said the magical word is voluntary workout. Okay, fair, right? That does make sense. It's voluntary. The guys want to work at home. They aren't sure what's going on. Okay, that's driving the low attendance. But seriously, you could sit here and say anything's driving a low attendance, and you're more than likely right with it. And that's the tough part for us that are sitting here getting excited for hockey season, is the fact that, yeah, there's a lot of obstacles to go in our way, and everything that could detract from a potential hockey season is detracting from a potential hockey season right now, and that really friggin' sucks. That's about all I gotta say on that, is it really friggin' sucks, because we've been starved for hockey since the second week of August now. Oh, sure, you could watch the Stanley Cup playoffs in Edmonton. The cup's being raised in Rogers Place, but it's not the Oilers. Well, yippee-yip-ki-yay, because who cared? Honestly, how many people raise a hand if you were still watching as intensively as you would if it was the Oilers in the Cup final when it was the Dallas Stars and the Tampa Bay Lightning? Like, hooray for Steven Stamkos getting on the ice for 3 minutes and 24 seconds or whatever it was and winning a Stanley Cup. But that's about all I care. That's legitimately about all I cared about that. Oh, hold on. Patrick Maroon. Yeah, of course. But it was big news last year for Patrick Maroon, winning it with his hometown St. Louis Blues, doing it his second year in the row with the Tampa Bay Lightning. They were already a powerhouse, right? Okay, good enough. But tough go any way you cut it. Now we find ourselves going into December here as of Tuesday, and we don't got any hockey on the calendar next week. That's a very tough pill to swallow, and I don't care what your view on the whole world situation is right now. If you're not missing hockey and dying for it to come back and willing to do whatever it takes to get it back, you're kind of missing the boat on being a hockey fan right now. Honestly, right? There's situations in Europe where they're playing hockey and the world hasn't ended over there because they're playing hockey. My Junior B Ice and St. Paul Canadians, they were playing hockey up until the new rules came into effect. So I'm sorry, right? It's not the end of the world if 45 guys play some hockey. It's really not. No, yeah, you can say you're pissed off that you'd like to be in the building and whatever. I'd like a lot of things too. I'd like $1 million right now, but guess what? I'm not going to get. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I'd like $4.5 million right now. And maybe if you refresh the page a couple times here and view the video, maybe you can help me get there. That joke aside, is the fact that $4.5 million right now, maybe I could take a couple years off work and really enjoy life. But that's what I'd like. And guess what? We don't all get what we like in life. That's 100% serious as to what we're seeing right now. So if you're not tugging the train of, you know what, we need to get hockey back just to give us something we want in life, you know what, you're clowning around. I don't even know why you're bothering watching Dolynny TV if you aren't serious about wanting hockey back. That's the end of the day. And I mean, every time I talk about this kind of stuff, this getting back to hockey, it always ends up me going on a rant about people being so flaky about things. But seriously, it's either you don't want hockey back and you're not a hockey fan, or you want hockey back and you're a hockey fan. There is nothing in between. I might have my misgivings with those guys making $12.5 million a year to play a game. Meanwhile, here I am working and, you know, just making a living wage. But end of the day, again, there's some things I'd like in life, and we're not going to get everything we want. So, right, you know what? One thing I want that we can all agree on, if we're all watching this video, is that we want to see the Oilers play hockey soon. And with soon, very soon. So let's get back to hockey and let's get it going. Problem is, there's a lot standing in our way and it really sucks. That was my point. I'll finish with that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Old news is old news, but hey, you know what? It really sucks to see things standing in our way and holding things up, because you know what? You can say the world situation is doing it, but the idiots at the NHLPA and the idiots at the NHL arguing about dollars they've already negotiated are really standing in the way of you and me sitting back on a Tuesday night next week watching hockey and actually enjoying something in this crap miserable year. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I will catch you a little bit later on tonight. We'll have a little bit better attitude for the Oilers franchise mode. We got to get to the Stanley Cup final. That's when we'll do it, is round 3 in a couple hours here. Guys, I am up on out of here.